talk to you for a minute? But can I talk to you for a minute? But hey, can I talk to you for a minute? But hey, can I talk to you for a minute? But hey, can I talk to you for a minute? We have already been through a whole lot of bullshit. And you're about to go through a whole lot more, bitch. Hey, 2024, there are a couple jobs that I was not able to finish, so I was wondering if you could take over those projects. Bitch, are you serious, 2023? There are things you didn't get to do? Dude, I took out Chandler Bing and Dumbledore. I've been busy. You see, I wasn't even that bad, bitch. Yeah, we were all kind of bad. Things have not been going well at all. Fucking bitches. Listen, before we start this new year, I just want to say all of you have made me so proud. You all have so much red on your ledger. Like 2023, that thing with the aliens, poetic. Poetic. Really? I felt like no one cared about that. You are right, bitch. No one cares. Yeah, by the way, that was kind of a bad call. I am a very... No one cares! But 2024, I've seen your syllabus. It's good, but you know you could do better. You know what? I think I needed that tough love today. I think I needed that. That's why I'm here, bitch. What in the entire fuck? Hey, remember Murder Hornets? Oh yeah, those were good. Those were good. I was thinking we're gonna do Massacre Mosquitoes this year. Now that's how I want you to drive. From now on, that's how you drive. Ooh, I was also thinking that all of the Pop-Tarts could have slightly less frosting. It's the subtlety for me, 2024. Oh, and instead of Cocaine Bear, Heroin Hippo.
How else would I start the new year off? Hey, heathens. Thanks for joining me here for Talk About It Tuesday. Y'all, let's jump right into it. Look, if I'm going to go to hell, I might as well go to hell in style. Okay? Okay. Now, excuse me, the campaigning for the GOP Iowa caucus has kicked off. It started today with Vivek Ramaswamy. Tomorrow, Ron DeSantis will be there campaigning. And then on the 5th, we get a double header. Nikki, I'm a lie about slavery, my heritage, my religion, my everything. Haley. And Donald, please do not look in the bathroom, Trump. Now, I know there's been a lot of jibber jabber going around the internet about Vivek Ramaswamy not participating in the primary debate that CNN is hosting on January 10th. Now, let's start with what Vivek says, and then we'll come back to the truth, because I like to smack his ass with the truth, okay? So, he said that he will be skipping the debate due to CNN exposing, and I quote, itself to be actively engaging in egregious interference with the Iowa GOP caucus and disrespecting GOP voters. Instead, he's doing what his Papa Bear normally does, Trump, and he's going to be involved in alternative events. He's going to be with his fanboy, Tim Pool of the Culture Wars podcast, and they'll be doing a live stream together, allegedly. But you want to know why Vivek won't be at the debate? It's not his choice. And I think this is just so on par with everybody going, oh, the Secretary of State said Trump can't be on the ballot. Rules and regulations. No, the voter. No. Do y'all forget that there are requirements for everything? There are requirements every step of the way. We have had members of the GOP not qualified for debates before. And guess whose turn it is now because they didn't qualify? Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy. Okay. Do you know one of the things you needed to have in order to make it to the debate stage on January 10th? You don't? Oh, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Come here. Come here. I would say don't tell anybody, but we can't stand Vivek. So tell everybody, okay? He did not meet the 10% polling requirement. Let me repeat. He did not meet the 10% polling requirement. Even when I'm heavily shadow banned on social media, I can still hit 10% of my following list without hashtags, without trying. Yes, so while he's out here posturing like, oh, CNN treating us so bad, he's been all over CNN all year round. And he's trying to play back into that talking point, but they're all forgetting that they need CNN right now because CNN was taken over by Trump's homeboy. Why do you think they're getting so much press on CNN? Why do you think they're able to run wild on CNN? Okay, CNN has turned into diet, we'll say the Crystal Light of Fox News. Okay, CNN has turned into the scraggly, annoying cousin. Okay, CNN is the Lenny to the George of Fox. Can I go with you, George? Can I go with you, George? Can I go with you, George? Please, George. Please, just a little George. Let me have a bite of your sandwich, George. You going over there, George? Can I go too, George? So yeah, that's why I say it's key to pay attention to the verbiage that they use. There's requirements for everything because everybody's so up in arms that Trump may not be on the Maine ballot. Guess who did not qualify to be on the ballot in Maine? Chris Christie. Where's the outrage? And even Chris Christie was like, well, I think the voters should say. Again, let me explain something to y'all. Primaries are not national. Primaries, each state has its own rules regarding primaries. You can be the primary candidate for a political party without any voting. The political party can, for certain states, can go in and be like, hey, this is our candidate, put them on the ballot for the primaries, they go for it. Other places, they'll have a caucus, like Iowa, that will determine who gets on their primary ballot. Other places, the political parties just get together and go, rock, paper, scissors. Oh, okay, it's him. But Chris Christie doesn't qualify. Where's that talking point now? This is why I keep telling y'all, certain things are good for ratings. And in light of social media, if you don't think that they don't have people whose entire job is to doom scroll social media to see who's talking about what the most, I have some impeccable swamplands in the backwoods of Mississippi to sell you. Put a house right on it. It won't sink. It won't sink at all. I'll get you the best terms available. Why do you think news media is now mimicking and mirroring social media? News will break on social media, and then you'll get a notification on your phone. CBS breaking news. And you're like, I saw that 10 minutes ago on such page. Because all these people that went from Trump bad, scary, Trump bad, scary, Trump bad. Oh, we should let the voters. Yeah, the voters. And it didn't matter which side of the aisle or if they sat in the middle of the aisle. All of a sudden, boom. And now it switched back to Trump will end democracy. How? Show me mathematically. Show me mathematically where everybody is freaking out. Let's be logical. Show me mathematically why we should be afraid of Trump. He didn't have the numbers before, and he's dwindled his own numbers. People have woken up. We've covered it here. Like the woman who went to prison and came out and was like, oh, shit, I fucked up. Oh, I fucked up. people who can't vote because they're now on parole or probation or locked up in prison or they dead. He lost by over 7 million votes. And out of that, he took his fan base down further. And I'm going to keep repeating this until people finally get it. The official Young Republicans, I'm not saying Young Republicans like as a tagline. I'm talking about the actual official group, which spans from age range 18 to 40. Many of them said they will not vote at all if their only candidate, their only choice is Trump. So somebody please tell me mathematically, why are we supposed to be afraid of Trump? This is the perfect example of the math ain't mathin'. There's so many people freaking out. If he gets in, this is gonna happen. Our rights, our freedoms. What rights? What freedoms? I will freak out about United States politicians when one of the Koch brothers gets a period, because that'll be the day that they freak the fuck out and they'll go berserk. And everybody that they're paying for, that they're the Svengali for, what misogynistic men fear a woman as president would happen, that's what would happen if one of the Koch brothers looked down and blood was coming out their pee-pee. And they don't make pads for that. That would cause me to freak out. Trump right now, with him trying to force himself to be the candidate, because here's the thing. Trump's team has given themselves the deadline of March 19th to make him the presumptive GOP candidate. The numbers aren't there for Trump. The likelihood of Trump being convicted is sky high, okay? We're talking Jack Smith as the special counsel who has worked in international courts, not just international law, doing a methodical old school, not that bullshit for the camera stuff that Rudy Giuliani used to do. The old school mob style takedown investigations and trial prep. Trump is going to take the GOP down. Trump is pulling a LeBron. And let me explain. If you remember, when LeBron was first with Cleveland, and for those of y'all that forgot that I got a little tomboy in me, well, a lot of time. Never mind. That's a conversation for, that's a different type of show. That's a different type of show. Let's stay focused. But LeBron was in Cleveland. Okay? Draft had come and gone. Free agency was about to wrap up. And LeBron was like, I got an announcement. Everybody like, you staying in Cleveland? You staying in Cleveland? Hey, you gonna take us? Yeah, boy, you gonna take us. He came in literally the 11th hour and said, Cleveland, fuck you. I'm taking my talents to South Beach. That is what Trump is about to do. Trump is about to have them put everything behind him, and he's going to sink them because of his ego. Trump is ego driven. The project in New York that got Trump noticed, because before he was just an unknown, unnamed, what they would call an outer borough developer like his father, was, what was it? The Grand Hilton near Central Station. Grand Central Station. That was his father that did it. And then that's what he's like, yeah, I'm a real estate genius. He's ego driven. Have we forgotten that? Do I need to remind you? Do I need to do another Trump series? Now, regarding the whole Maine thing, in Maine, the Superior Court has 20 days from the Secretary of State saying anything to make any other decision. So you got 20 days. And that deadline would be the 20th. This afternoon, Trump's team was like, yeah, we're going to film. At least give us a stay so he could be on the primary ballot. And boy, ain't nobody worried about you. Now, also, let's get into this whole SCOTUS debate, okay? Go get a pen. Go get a piece of paper. This is the last time I'm breaking this down for y'all. Last time. So share with your friends. Share with your friends. Because if they come in one more of my comment sections, I'm going to put the crystals on them. Here's the thing. The debate right now is regarding the primary ballot. And because state by state, primary rules differ. Nobody's touched or talked about the general election ballot yet. Now, when it comes to the general election ballot, SCOTUS has no choice but to give a ruling. The vast majority of the current SCOTUS are current and former Federalist Society members, the Federalist Societies who got this ball rolling. The current 6-3 conservative Supreme Court, in their rulings, they have stood on it. In previous rulings, before they even got in opinions, before they became associate justices, many of them show that they are constitutionalists, that they are originalists. And given that the 14th Amendment is a part of the amendments that are the Reconstruction Amendments that are completely directed towards insurrection, and the homeboys behind it was like, this some bullshit. This doesn't just apply to the Civil War and this insurrection. This goes moving forward. We wanted to make it even more harsh for you motherfuckers, where you not only couldn't ever run for office again, you couldn't vote again, you couldn't do all these things. They're like, no, we're not going to be that mean. We're not going to be that mean. So it's clear cut. So more than likely what will happen is that the court may set what's called an administrative stay, which means Trump will remain on all primary ballots. Primary ballots. And that will give them until the summer, which will be the cutoff, to start prepping general election ballots to go through, look at the case, settle arguments, and put out a ruling. Okay? We got it? We cool? Also, regarding politics, in 13 days, it's the final countdown. Before you ask, yes, I've had an absorbent amount of caffeine. I was with the Shaman of Shenanigans yesterday. Judge me a little. Well, a scoop more than a little. That is the official kickoff to what I call primary seasons. Okay, you got Super Tuesday. You got all these caucuses kicking off. And here's the thing. Y'all keep forgetting about a large chunk of the GOP faction. They're still looking for an anti-Trump candidate. Did y'all forget about that? Why everybody freaking out about Trump? That within the GOP, you down with GOP? Yeah, you know me. And I know everybody's freaking out like, oh, Trump is the front runner going into the Iowa caucus. And like, a lot of things are just traditional. And a lot of things are people use as superstition, but the shit doesn't really fucking mean anything. People are so fickle up until they get into the polling place to get to their ballot. Because let's go back down memory lane. Y'all remember 2016? You remember 2016 when Trump and Cruz was battling it out? When Trump was calling Cruz's wife everything but a child of God, okay? When Trump was acting like Cruz was married to one of the flying funky monkeys off of The Wiz, and Cruz was saying Trump wasn't shit. Gathering his orange orangutan ass all up and through the streets. Remember when they was giving the verbal skippity paps back and forth to each other? It was Ted Cruz that won the Iowa caucus. after trailing Trump in the polls. Cruz didn't become the candidate. And everybody was like, well, before Trump just had a ragtag group of people helping him with his campaign, and now he knows better. Motherfucker, this is his fourth presidential campaign. Fourth. See, the last head-to-head between Trump and Joe Biden, I went over that this wasn't the first time that Joe Biden had run for president, and that wasn't like the second time that Trump had run for president. Trump had run before as an independent. Trump doesn't learn how shit works. Trump just tries to force people to stroke his ego. And at this point in time, Trump has rubbed so many people the wrong way, sent so many people to prison, caused so many people to take plea deals, has people fighting for their freedom in these streets. Who gonna help him? Who gonna help? Because at this point, a good chunk of who's working for Trump now are people that are doomed working for him because they hate DeSantis. They left the DeSantis camp and went over to Trump. We went over that at the beginning of all this, when everybody first started throwing their hands in this clown car of a GOP race. Trump does not have the ability to get the best of the best. So where's everybody getting this from? Where is the disconnect coming? He can't get the best attorneys. He has an Ivy League graduate attorney daughter that he can't even get to take his case. He has had political connections since the age of 33 because they were passed down from his father. That's how he was getting so many tax abatements starting in the 1980s in New York City. He's not fucking Lucky Luciano. He's not he's not Siegel. Like I said before, somebody please tell me, mathematically, why is everybody freaking out? All righty. Let's move on and talk about DeSantis for a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, he's next on the list. Talked about Vivek. Talked about, I don't have nothing new on Nimarata. Except for the fact that I'm still shocked that so many people are just now figuring out that she's a fucking Indian woman. Remember a couple months ago, I told y'all that too many white people, you can tell who's truly started deconstructing and who hasn't. Because people are like, how did light-skinned white people pass as white? Racist white people only pay attention to skin tone. They don't pay attention to phenotypes. They don't pay attention to anything else. They literally look at your skin. That's why so many biracial people get a behind-the-scenes look and listen into their bullshit. And that's why racist white people only equate biracial to black and white only. But then they'll turn around and tell us that the world is more than black and white. Motherfucker, we know. We put the ink in the printer. Child, take a look at this and have a good chuckle.
Hey, Florida, can I see your travel plans coming up?
No.
Stop messing around.
I'm not messing around. I can't give you my travel plans.
Why not?
It's illegal.
Excuse me?
Well, after I changed the state constitution to allow Ronnie Boy to run for president, even though he's still the governor, I then made a law to hide how he's spending public tax dollars on his travel.
Are your people okay with this?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't asked them that in a long time.
How is this even allowed to happen?
Because DeSantis has removed everyone who disagrees with him from office and then appointed his own lackeys.
That can't be legal.
Yeah, that doesn't matter when you can use your political office to do things like redraw and erase 2 majority black districts. Cowards don't fight fair.
He ain't no coward. He served this country. Oh, calm down. He was an officer.
Ugh, people are not gonna like that one.
The prior enlisted will, and that's good enough for me. All right, whatever. Florida, I'm just gonna look at your past records and extrapolate from there.
That's a good idea. I'll make that illegal too.
Isn't like your whole thing having open records?
Are you talking about the sunshine laws that make things like arrest records super easily accessible and the main reason why Florida man stories are so common?
Yeah.
Then yeah, but those don't apply to Ronnie Boy.
I got other ways of getting information from people.
Now, I bring this up because do y'all remember Podium Gate? And then there was a strange white man that tried to call it Lectern Gate. That doesn't even have a ring to it, sir. Because Sarah Huckabee Sanders has the same law going on, but see, she's been pulling the same shenanigans since she was a teenager, living in the governor's mansion with her daddy, with her pappy. And her own party was like, wait a minute, sister girl, this don't make any sense. And it's already been leaked out because we covered it here that he's having his wealthy private donors lend him private jets to get around. He's utilizing state vehicles and security patrols. He moved basically his entire campaign office up to Iowa months ago. Yeah. And see, when you already have so many members of the GOP from coast to coast being caught up in scandals that have to do with money and not doing the right thing with money, you might not want to do that. Check with PG Sittenfield out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He started his prison sentence yesterday. Because the money was looking funny. Then there was another one. The GOP, coast to coast. Just clink, clink. You got an attorney general down in Texas that, that man got a lot of exes. And I think all of them been to the abortion clinic. I think they was pregnant with spiders because it's got to be cobwebs. But so yeah, they're cracking down. Because especially when the figurehead of your party, even though you don't like him and you're starting to break out into you're starting to umbrella your party, you know, like how we got the Whigs, the independent Republicans, the Democrat Republicans, the Dixiecrats, all of that stuff. We're going into that age of Aquarius again. Okay. They don't want that. They don't want that. They're going to be looking. And especially since DeSantis keeps trying to get in all these corporations business and he keeps bringing up Nikki Haley and her donors, where you have an illegal super PAC that you've been using through this whole campaign. You just spent $1 million on campaign ads in Iowa alone. Your PAC for your campaign doesn't have that much liquid assets. You know it's public record, right, Rodney? And you know I'm nosy. You know I'm politically nosy, right? I be all up in y'all political business. I be peeking out the blinds at y'all. Yeah, I do. I be sitting outside in the bushes looking at y'all. I know the blood types of your mistresses. Do I have the time? No, but I make the time. Because y'all be wasting my damn money. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay. If you're not going to use it properly, just give it back to me. Okay. Okay. Here's the difference between Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley is going to be sneaky, but try to come off as a goody two shoes. She wants to be the quintessential white woman. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has been from she thinks her family is the Kennedys. That fashion is pretty much, never mind. So Sarah doesn't care. Sarah will look you dead in your face, like she did as the White House press secretary. She'll look you dead in your face and tell you, no, that is not a hurricane behind you. I don't know what you're talking about. And no, I didn't summon the hurricane. Am I going to benefit from the hurricane? What's benefit? And Nikki never finishes anything. Nikki is like your hard-headed ass nibbling that will beg you to go get them chicken nuggets, eat 2 1/4 chicken nugget, and then tell you that they want chili cheese conies. And then sniff the chili cheese coney and tell you, nope, I just want an ice cream cone. But then if you tell them, hey, I'll give you $10 to stop doing this shit. Okay. Your mistress is I was just say Kennedy's had better fashion, but then some outfits scrolled through my head. Before Jackie got her racism together, and then after she got her racism together, and she was letting the black woman dress her, she was a chef's kiss. But there's some other Kennedys where I'm like, God damn, is that the curtains? Is that a sofa cover? What the fuck is that? They cute though. They cute to somebody. Somebody think they are a unique looking family, just like the Huckabee Sanders. They unique bucks. Now, speaking of unique looking, my favorite associate justice to tell to go to fucking hell, sucking on a can of gasoline, Clarence Thomas. Y'all remember at a globally televised national event when he got roasted? You know, let me remind you.
Does anyone else remember Roy Wood Jr. roasting Clarence Thomas alive?
I think Republicans, y'all would be surprised, man, if y'all would just be real about what CRT is. You can be surprised. Some black folks might meet you halfway. But you got to tell the truth. You can't lie to black people. Call it what it is. Anti-CRT policies are an attack on black history and an attempt to erase the contributions of black people from the history books. You are trying to erase black people, and a lot of black people wouldn't mind some of that erasure as long as that black person is Clarence Thomas. A billionaire named Harlan Crow is flying Clarence Thomas all over the world on unreported trips like an Instagram model, taking Clarence to the Maldives and the beaches and all. Paid for his mama's house, this billionaire. Paid for Clarence Thomas' mama's house. I gotta give it up to billionaires. Billionaires, boy, y'all always come up with something new to buy. Like, just when you think of everything you could buy on Earth, a billionaire will come up with a new thing. Y'all buy space rockets, you bought Twitter. This man bought a Supreme Court justice. Do you understand how rich you have to be to buy a black one on top of that? There's only 2 in stock. And Harlan Crow owns half the inventory. We can all see Clarence Thomas, but he belongs to billionaire Harlan Crow. And that's what an NFT is.
Won't. Beat it up, won't. Beat it up, won't. Beat it up, won't. Y'all here talking about TD Jakes is a power bottom. For them kind of dollars, what did Young Miami say? Clarence Thomas getting flued out, going to private clubs, getting all these fancy schmancy dinners. Better beat it like a drum. Beat it up. Beat it up. Beat it up. Because please explain to me why all these billionaires that are men always got to go out into the woods with just the men by themselves. And then they want to eat chili and drink champagne. Kid you fucking not. We went over that before. Kid you fucking not. Okay? I wouldn't want to be the outhouse. I would not even want to be in 200,000 square miles of the outhouse. Chili and champagne. They out here raising the cost of everything, trying to make us feel like we are going to be perpetually the poors, having a bite of this and a bite of that, called a 5-star Michelin meal. And their preferred food is chili in the middle of the woods. I tell you, if white people do it, it's posh. If the rest of us do it, it's poor. And who the fuck decided that the same people that make tires that everybody can afford should tell us what the fuck good food is? Yes, it's the same company, y'all. For those of y'all that didn't know, it's the same Michelin. But the same people who used to, they don't anymore, they used to make your favorite mason jars, they're really a tech and chemical company. And you know Coors Light, the Coors company, y'all know how they survived Prohibition and how they subsidize. Told y'all, always check out my other series. But yeah, and let's not forget, Harlan Crow's mother survived a ship, a civilian ship of pleasure, that was the first one bombed by Nazi Germany, and he has basically a portion of his land dedicated to fascist, racist, and the King Poobah of the Nazis. And if we're going to talk about Clarence Thomas, we're going to also talk about Mr. Show up every presidential election to sow discourse, especially if there's a person of color running. And he's a person of color himself. Mr. I'm going to pretend to be an activist, but I am the furthest from it. Well, guess who that is? Okay. Mm-hmm. You know, Harlan Crow didn't just buy one black man. No. No, black people are like M&Ms, can't just eat just one. You know, Cornel West, who even publicly admitted and acknowledged Harlan Crow's affinity to racist ideologies and idols and icons. But I guess you got to pay off your taxes some way, somehow. Because, I mean, how serious of a presidential campaign can you have when you're not even trying to get on the ballots on any states? In any states. You're not campaigning at all. You're just gearing up for your next book and your next controversy where you're going to get fired from yet another university. Oh, and those of y'all that are new to tuning in, I'm pro-black. Just like I'm pro-family, I'm pro-friends. Well, I don't really have friends. I just got family, okay? We cool, we family, okay? Hey, cousin. Hey, sis. Therefore, I'm pro accountability. Okay. Okay, I am rated E for everybody. Okay. Hold on, let me say something. Every day, all day. I am that family member that shows up with their own cup, their own beverage, their own snacks. Because y'all not about to poison me. And I just sit back and wait for you to say something off the cuff because I'm going to read you. I'm going to bring that accountability. Okay. I am your Jiminy Cricket. Just because somebody's black and wrote a few books and says a few little nice words from time to time about black people doesn't mean that I'm just going to be like, oh, yeah. Support them. There was a point in time where Candace Owens stood on the right side of history. And then the bitch realized she needed to support her husband. And she wanted her a white man. The dark side of making an interracial relationship your entire personality. Bitch, you gonna be the slave. Yeah, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't. Yeah. That's why I always think it's funny when somebody's like, oh, you're pro this politician. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. Now, let's go ahead and let's deal with the elephant in the room. Yes, someone decided to fix their face. Of course they did. Of course they did. And yes, he looks exactly like you would think he looks. They want to compare the draft and slavery. Enjoy.
I'm surprised you have this. It sounds. I mean, the North did you could say that was fine. They needed to do that, and this was necessary to end the institution of slavery, which is horrible. The hundreds of thousands of deaths, the invasion and conquest of the South, the burning of city after city, a scorched earth policy of totally destroying the Confederate armed forces, killing and capturing their leaders. That's fine. That's what we did. We can't examine. I mean, I think it's fine to wonder if that was the greatest course of action or the ideal way to bring about the end of slavery, particularly because the North invented the draft and the purpose of doing it, which is, in my view, also a form of slavery, that then persisted for another 100 years. Forcing people to go die in warfare is the most objectionable thing I could possibly think of.
Weird. I think 400 years of chattel slavery having ritualized.
If the government can make you die, if they can make you die.
Do you think slave owners can kill their slaves and didn't kill their slaves?
I'm saying this is a form of slavery. I'm not saying slavery is not slavery.
You just said that the draft is the worst thing that you could think of. And we're having a conversation about chattel slavery.
If the government can make you go die on a foreign battlefield, you don't own yourself in any conceivable way. So that's why I don't romanticize the North.
You have a right to get married if you're in a war. If you're drafted, you have a right to keep your own children, not have them literally sold away from you as property. You have a right to wages for your labor. You had a right to a GI Bill.
One kind of slavery is the right way to get.
Robbie, you can make your point without making a comparison between the draft and chattel slavery, which was a multi-generational pogrom against millions of Africans who were brought across the Atlantic and kept for hundreds of years without a single right in the land.
Very bad, shouldn't have done any of it, should not have enslaved people in the course of ending it.
Let's start with something that people tend to forget. It is 2024. Collectively stop saying, we did this, we stopped this, we stopped this. The Civil War was an insurrection. The country split. Part of the country fought on the other side, part of the country. Everybody does not descend from folk that were on the right side of history. This was not a collective we. This was not the Revolutionary War. Two, there were enslaved people who were forced to fight for the Confederacy in place of their masters. Wealthy men throughout the entirety of the draft were able to buy their way out legally. And for you Irish Americans that we were so the draft and the fact that rich white men could buy themselves out of the draft and your ancestors couldn't, caused your ancestors to then attack black people as if in the 1800s we had any power or say so. Make it make sense why you get pissed off at what rich white men decide should happen to your life and you take it out on us when you didn't have shit to say when these same rich white men were only telling us to do with our lives. And he said, well, you can be sent to a foreign land and have to die for your country. Imagine going to a foreign land after being drafted, outdoing everybody because you don't have a choice, and coming back and programs set up to help you as a veteran you have no access to. Did you all know that for quite a while, veterans of war not only were given stipends, but they were given plots of land, except for if you had to be white. You had to qualify. And one of the big qualifications was to be white. And the Civil War vets, first of all, you raggedy bitches on either side got off way better monetarily than you should have. Because it was in the 2000s that the last Confederate widow died. And them bitches, them motherfuckers was doing some nasty shit, okay? Old ass Confederate vets were looking for 16 to 18-year-old girls to marry, to have someone take care of them. And those women would do it so that they could have the fucking benefits. And they knew that they stood on the wrong side of history because these motherfuckers didn't want to reveal it till they were damn near on their deathbed. Stop comparing shit to chattel slavery. Stop comparing shit to chattel slavery. Until someone can come into your home, your place of worship, snatch you up, strip you down, put you on any mode of transportation, transport you somewhere, put a value on your head and those of any of your family members, separate you, keep you out in the field as livestock and breed you as livestock, and then claim they want to free you, but keep you in bondage for centuries just because. Don't compare a damn thing to chattel slavery. And don't hit me with the, well, slavery has existed since the fucking Mesopotamia area. Yes, I know. Began in Mesopotamia. Motherfucker. Still wasn't goddamn chattel fucking slavery. Would you break your arm and then walk into a fucking children's cancer ward and say, see, we're both in the hospital, we're the same? I'm not going to say you sound stupid. trying to compare things to chattel slavery. You sound desperate. You sound like you know that you are below mediocre, that you have to take the worst that happened to a people and try to wear it to make yourself look better. Do you know how shit of a class of people that you have to be to take on the lowest part of a diaspora's history and want that to be your crowning moment? At least the fucking culture vultures aren't out here dressing up like Harriet Tubman and the Prossers or Nat Turner. Kim Kardashian trying her hardest to look like fucking Beyonce. Y'all dying on operating tables trying to look like Sarah Bartman. But it blows my mind that you want to take the worst part of fucking history and try to own it. And then on top of that, tell us to be okay and accepting of Israel because the Jewish diaspora deserves Israel. And y'all can come out the box on me if you want to, but what I'm going to say is historically factual because they got a glimmer. They got a glimmer of what it meant to be Black around the globe. Hitler learned from chattel slavery, Jim Crow, and most notably Henry Ford. And they didn't even go as far as they did with us. But we are never to forget the Holocaust. And they're not perpetually in chains because of it. You can't even look at a Jewish person wrong without being labeled anti-Semitic and losing everything. We have McCarthyism 2.0 going on right now because of some shit a tyrannical faction of the Jewish diaspora is putting forth. Hell, the UK is like, yeah, you know, Israel shouldn't be held accountable for war crimes. We shouldn't say that. They're like, well, we lost family members. Yes, you did, but you kept your name. You have the ability to go through records and see who passed away and where people went throughout the country, throughout the world. People have to have express written permission and consent for your treasures, and they call them treasures, to be placed in a museum. Our art, our architecture, our personal journals, hell, our bodies are called artifacts. And they just keep them. There are bodies of children who were decimated in the 1980s with the bombing of the MOVE movement that are still sitting in storage of an Ivy League college. Henrietta Lack's family just now got a drop in the bucket compared to all of the money. Compensation for her HeLac genes. That were stolen from her so that they could help to save white people, but not her. You have the career and the study of gynecology because of the utter and sheer torture of Black women and girls. Black people were literally taken on tours. They had zoos full of Black people. And even now, our mere existence is viewed as violence and a threat. But here lately, every time we turn around, there's a big Z Zionist Jewish individual claiming they're under attack. And it's always the big Z Zionist Jewish individuals with permed hair. Now, as always, we do have to start off the year with a telenovela. Now, this one will not be a long telenovela like the Arthur Knight saga, which is still going. Still waiting on another update. But this one, I don't know how to describe this. But I'm gonna say I'm confident that this is not what they meant when they said take an Uber.
This woman is going viral because she carjacked her own Uber driver for going too slow to the airport. The incident began when 27-year-old Nusha Alexandra Afkami got an Uber from her hotel to Austin International Airport, but grew frustrated that her Uber driver was only going the speed limit. And after arguing with him, she grabbed his phone and threw it out the window. And when the driver stopped the car to get his phone, Afkami slid over to the driver's seat and stole his Chevy Cruze, a car which I don't believe anyone owns that isn't an Uber driver. But out of generosity, she shouted that she would abandon the car at the Southwest Airlines terminal for him to collect. The Uber wasn't the only thing she stole, though, because his wallet was still inside the car, and when she got to the airport, she used his credit card to buy $130 worth of goodies, including a souvenir shot glass and some candy for the flight. However, the Uber driver had been able to call the police in the interim, who promptly arrested her at the gate before she could board, with the illicitly purchased items still in her possession. And if you think all of that is insane, you haven't heard the craziest part yet. Because the carjacking occurred at 12:30 in the morning, which means there was no traffic, and it's only a 15-minute drive from downtown Austin to the airport. And the latest flight leaving Austin is at 11 p.m. and the earliest flight is at 5:20, which means either she'd already missed the plane by 90 minutes or was 5 hours early for her flight. I know nothing else about this woman, but I can tell you right now she probably does not handle breakups well. Afkami faces charges of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and credit card abuse, both state jail felonies. And it's a safe bet she's going to have to use Lyft exclusively from here on out, because ain't no way Uber ain't going to give her a lifetime ban. And 100% someone on this app who sees this video knows more about this story. So leave me a comment, let me know.
Why do I have a feeling that she thought she was going to have a Hallmark movie moment? That there was somebody she was supposed to meet, and they were like, well, if you're not here, I'm just not going, and left. Because, sis girl, you went shopping on his dime, and Lyft ain't gonna let her, because you have to take a picture of your ID to put in there, and they're gonna nope. The customer is never right. The customer is generally fraudulent, but it's the customer is always right when it comes to taste. People like to cut that off because they just like, the customer is always right. No, the customer is always fraudulent. Real. If y'all thought I was finally gonna get some sense in 2024, shit. I'm not. Oh, I'm not. Plus, now I'm initiated into the Ocean's Ozempic Shady Pines crew. So, told y'all. I was raised by 2 Scorpio. And I was talking to Daddy yesterday. And I was like, still to this day, how did anybody let y'all be in charge of us? Like, how did we survive? How the fuck were my parents allowed to be in charge of any damn body? I don't know how yeah. We got time for tests. Yeah, that's about it. Well, thank you all for joining me. Excuse me. And I'll be back tomorrow. I do believe our favorite resident Ginger will be with me tomorrow. Keep in mind, next Wednesday, next week, will be the CNN debate. So y'all know how we do. Get prepared now. Get prepared now. I will be going through my onesie collection to see what onesie speaks my name so we can go through this debate. Because that's what we do around here. So, as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. And if you haven't watched the other series on this channel, why not? Why not? But I do want to leave you all with this and pay close attention. Love y'all.
I feel like once you know someone is there for you and once you know they love you, you never actually think of them again.
That's not true.
It's until you're about to lose someone that you finally pay attention.